This is John Paul Rai. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and as you guys know, I'm sure, Johnny Depp tried to appeal the UK libel case against the Sun, and there is no decision yet. We'll be waiting for that. So I wanted to talk about this article that covered the hearing and get to what I consider the main point and what I'm sure most people consider the main point from the hearing. This one article here says UK court will consider Johnny Depp's appeal to review the wife-beater libel ruling. So I guess what's happening is they're going to consider it for whatever exactly that means. I guess it's better than them just turning it down right away. And from ABC News, lawyers for Johnny Depp seek to appeal wife-beater ruling. Okay, I don't like ABC News so much, but I do like covering things that I disagree with, or should I say media I disagree with, because if you cover something you agree with, it's just not as interesting, it's not as stimulating basically. But in this case, we'll see. High Court Justice Andrew Nicol ruled that lawyers for Sun Publisher News Group newspapers proved during the trial that the allegations against Depp made in an April 2018 article were substantially true. The word prove there is a pretty poor description of what happened, but I guess they have to say what went down factually. The judge ruled that Depp, 57, assaulted Heard, 34, on a dozen occasions and put her in fear for her life 3 times. On Thursday, Depp's lawyers argued for an appeal, saying Depp did not receive a fair trial. Neither Depp nor Heard were present for the hearing. This is stuff we know. But of course, they have to put it out there, because I keep reminding people, some people, even now, are hearing about this for the very first time. That's why they go through this every article. Lawyer Andrew Caldecott said in written submissions that Heard's claims she donated the entire amount of $7 million divorce settlement to 2 charities were a calculated and manipulative lie. The claims gave Heard a considerable boost to her credibility as a person and had tipped the scales against Mr. Depp from the very beginning, Caldecott argued. Yeah, that's a great point. I don't think I've ever quite mentioned it on this channel in that way, is that, look, if you really think, even, if Judge Nicol had it decided from the beginning or not, if you do think that somebody donated $7 million to charity, that would really make you believe they're a good person. I wouldn't believe that anybody would do that who didn't actually have hundreds of millions or something, let alone Amber Heard. It's batshit crazy, but assuming you thought someone did donate that much money to charity, yes, you would think they were a good person. Lawyers for Johnny Depp told Britain's Court of Appeal Thursday that the actor's ex-wife, Amber Heard, did not donate all of her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, as she claimed part of the argument seeking to overturn a ruling that the actor assaulted Heard during the couple's marriage. The Hollywood star is seeking permission to appeal a high court ruling in November when he lost his libel lawsuit against the Sun newspaper for labeling him a wife-beater in the article. Yep, we know that. Okay, but that was a very cool little picture of her with the busted thing. And of course, let's talk about the excuse that Amber's side gives. Lawyers for the Sun's publisher rejected the argument, saying Heard did not lie about the donations because she was pledging to pay the sums over time. And why? Why? Why pay it over time? If you're like, well, I'll donate $7 million, but I'll pay it over 10 years, I believe they said, or something like that, it makes no sense. All that could happen in that time is a chance the money gets whittled away, or you don't have it anymore. It's pretty stupid, in my opinion. Not a bad excuse to pull out of their ass, I guess. If technically she did sign something that said she'd pay it over time, I suppose that would be an excuse, but I don't think that's what happened. She had made a number of payments already in pursuance of these pledges, said Adam Wolowski, representing NGN. Wolowski added that even if the judge had a fresh evidence and decided it did demonstrate that Miss Heard was a gold digger, that did not mean she had not been assaulted. Alright, I mean, yeah, the two things don't exactly have to do with one another. However, it is a very big boost, like they said, to her character. Which obviously needs a boost because her character is, in the negatives, but okay, I digress. Two judges at the Court of Appeal said they would not make a decision about the appeal Thursday, but would issue a ruling soon. During last year's trial, the judge and the public heard lucrative accounts from Depp and Heard in which each accused the other of abuse. And here, Johnny's lawyer states that the hospital said that Amber did not make the payments, and to quote him, he says it's a false plus to her and a false minus to him, he said Thursday. So yeah, simply put, it's a plus for Amber and a minus for Johnny. And obviously, it's unjust because she lied. Caldecott also argued that Nickel, the High Court judge, unfairly rejected evidence unfavorable to Heard during last year's trial. He said the judge should have placed more importance on recordings in which Heard appeared to admit to assaulting Depp when she was heard saying, "I can't promise I won't get physical again." Her promise about future conduct suggests that this is not necessarily a one-of, the lawyer said. Right, not necessarily a one-of. Right, not a one-time thing, basically. And yeah, I mean, no shit for us. It's painful hearing it every fucking time. This, great evidence, and he's just like, well, I guess she's a good person. I guess she's right. So, obviously, the main thing was that Amber's lawyers were saying that, oh, she could have paid it over time, or something to that extent. She said she'd pay it over time. And it just makes no sense to me, man. No sense at all. If you've got the money, you love the charities, you give the money to the charity, or you give a bunch of it. Maybe you give $6 million and you prove that. You get the receipts to say, you know what, I couldn't pay the last $1 million, I needed it, that'll pay over time. That's more believable. You've given a huge chunk of it, and okay, maybe. But just to give nothing, and to have your buddy Elon Musk give, a little bit, well, that looks a little suspicious. You guys let me know what you think down below. Figured I'd cover this main point for now. I might do a few videos during the week on it. I'm a bit behind in content, but I'll catch up at some point. Doing at least one video a day, maybe a live stream this weekend, but for now, consider subscribing. And if you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.